The Thornback swarm had consumed 47 colonies before the Galactic Coalition finally called Earth for help. Ambassador Telvash had resisted the idea. Humans were newcomers, barely a century into space travel. What could they possibly offer that the advanced civilizations hadn't already tried? But the swarm was winning. Their chitinous warriors shrugged off plasma fire. Their hive structures regenerated faster than orbital bombardment could destroy them, and their numbers seemed endless. Conventional weapons had failed. Energy weapons had failed. Kinetic bombardment had failed. The human response team arrived in a single frigate. No massive fleet. No dreadnoughts. Just one ship and a ground team of 30 soldiers. Telvash watched from the command center as the humans deployed to the surface of Kepler 442b, where the swarm had established their latest hive. The planet's forests were thick with Thornback warriors, each one capable of tearing through combat mechs with their serrated claws. "What are they carrying?" Telvash asked, zooming in on the human soldiers. Their weapons looked primitive, cylindrical tanks strapped to their backs, connected to handheld nozzles. Archaic combustion weaponry, the tactical officer reported, confusion evident in his voice. Chemical accelerants. Pressurized ignition systems. They're going to spray fire at the swarm? Telvash couldn't hide his disbelief. "We've tried incendiary weapons. The Thornback's exoskeletons are heat-resistant up to 1,400 degrees. Their hives have internal cooling. The humans opened fire. What emerged from those nozzles wasn't fire as the Coalition understood it. It was liquid hell given form. Streams of blazing chemical gel that clung to everything it touched, burning at temperatures that made their sensors scream. The first Thornback warrior caught in the spray shrieked, a sound Telvash had never heard from the typically silent creatures, and collapsed as the fire ate through its heat-resistant shell in seconds. The humans advanced in a line, their flamethrowers painting the forest in strips of roaring flame. Thornbacks emerged from the underbrush and were immolated before they could close the distance. The hive entrance, previously impervious to aerial bombardment, became a chimney of flame as the humans poured fire down into its depths. "Ow!" Telvash whispered. "How is this possible? We've studied combustion for millennia. We use fire for propulsion, for manufacturing, for tools." The human commander interrupted over the comm channel. Her name tag read Martinez. "You use fire as a tool. We weaponized it before we invented the wheel." The tactical display showed the hive's internal temperature spiking beyond anything previously recorded. The Thornbacks were fleeing, pouring out of secondary exits, only to meet more human soldiers with more of those terrifying weapons. "The gel is napalm derivative," Martinez explained casually, as if she weren't orchestrating an inferno that was collapsing an entire hive structure. "Sticks to organic and synthetic materials. Burns at 2,200 degrees. Doesn't need oxygen once ignited. Uses its own chemical reaction. Your energy weapons cauterize wounds. Our fire spreads." Within 4 hours, the hive was gone. Within 3 days, every Thornback nest on Kepler 442b had been reduced to scorched earth. The swarm, which had seemed unstoppable, retreated from the system entirely. The after-action report landed on Telvash's desk with a heavy thud. He read it 3 times, unable to fully process what he was seeing. The humans had designated flame weapons as obsolete for conventional warfare centuries ago. They'd relegated them to specialized applications: clearing vegetation, controlled burns, pest control. The Coalition had thrown their most advanced weapons at the swarm. The humans had used pest control equipment. "I don't understand," Telvash admitted to Commander Martinez when she came to debrief. "You have plasma weapons, particle beams, antimatter missiles. Why do you still carry that?" He gestured at the flamethrower slung over her shoulder. Martinez smiled, a predatory expression that reminded Telvash uncomfortably of the Thornbacks themselves. "Because we learned something 100,000 years ago, Ambassador. Something we've never forgotten." "What's that?" "Everything burns if you're creative enough." She patted the flamethrower like it was a loyal pet. The galaxy thinks it mastered fire when it learned to contain it, control it, make it efficient. We mastered fire when we learned to make it angry. The Galactic Weapons Committee convened 2 weeks later to discuss humanity's primitive arsenal. The debate lasted 7 hours. In the end, they created a new classification, primitive effective. It was a polite way of saying, we don't understand why it works, but we're terrified of what else they've been calling obsolete. The flamethrower was just the beginning.